Hello everybody, how's everybody? Let me see. Brantford, Ontario, yay! I saw somebody from Toronto before me here. And let me see, Lars, hi again, Pisces for Faroe Island. Let me just go back to see who else is here. Team Aqua, Calicat, hi Katrina. And also we have the same name. Carla Bacon Goods, hey, Toronto, Ontario, yay. So let me see. Safi, like observing and watching. Good morning, Angel. Good morning, Lee. Hi, Sally, Samantha, Kelly. Hi, Dean. How are you, sweetie? Moonchild. Nice. Somewhere in Time Tarot. Hello. New York. No, that's New Jersey, I guess. Hello and good morning. And Ken Chat, you're right, Mom. Well, Sally, you have a great time. You can listen. You can check it later. That's okay. Saggy, Brantford, Ontario. Gemini, dog. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, Tennessee. You know, I love this. Like people from all over the world come here, and it just like feels like having a coffee with my best friends. Wales, UK. Hi guys, you just been through the weekend of celebrations over there. Leo and Turkey. Oh my gosh, look at this. We have, well, Turkey is both in Europe and in Asia. So, daughter is Aurora, Canada. Oh, there you go. Oh, you're from New York. Oh, that's right. You told me she'll be visiting. Maybe she should stay. I actually really love Canada. So, guys, let's do it. We are in Gemini season, and it's going to be like so much fun. There is like full moon coming on Tuesday, and it's called flower moon. So we will need to kind of like release whatever we need to release. So I am actually using today just a regular deck. I'm just going to take the cards that I use for private readings. They're like special cards in this edition. I don't know, maybe I should leave them in. There are actually a few additional cards. Let's leave this. Hi Letty, how are you? Okay, so because it is Gemini season and we are finishing the month with this reading, I think I'm going to start with air. But before I start to tell you, I really need you guys to like and share, because I would love to release the annual taroscopes. So the people who were ordering them back in October and November, I don't think they're going to get mad with me releasing them now. but they're like actually awesome. Usually most of them are between 1.5 hours, 1 hour and 1.5 hour. I would say 1.5 hour, even 2 hours, some of them. And kind of like give you the whole perspective for the whole year, and still kind of like quarters. So it's going to be something down the road. Another thing is, just for this week, there is a special offer. If you order 30 minutes, you get 40 minutes in the order. And Geminis, you have basically your entire period 10% off. Hi Barbie, nice to see you, lady. We didn't see you in a while. Okay, so the air it's going to be purging, guys. Like, maybe it's a time that we actually make our list, what we kind of like want to let go of. And let's put this down. And kind of like what we kind of like during that new moon, because things are going to get shaken up. It's not going to be a salt shaker and a pepper shaker. It's going to be like everything kind of coming together. So we have to kind of let go of things to let new things in our life. I hardly do Facebook. Sorry, Dean, what was the question? I'm not so sure. Okay, so maybe it's something private. Okay, so there we go. So air. Hi, my turquoise. How are you? That's my favorite color. So look at that. We are doing the turquoise deck today. And guys, also check my Instagram, check my Facebook. I'm trying to be more active there, and I'm trying to do the proper work with proper graphics. So hopefully I see you there. And again, if I can ask moderators for the new people to repeat to them that, like, I'm trying to aim for 500 likes and shares. So combination of it, and then I'm going to release annuals for everybody. So everybody who's listening, I mean, I would appreciate if this is also being stamped, or maybe I should just mention at, I will actually mention it at the end of each sign, each element. So let's do it. Air is already having a message. Air is having 7 of Pentacles. Well, 7 of Pentacles is really talking about dedication. But just like as I said, what is staying and what is going? So I think air is going through some kind of like spiritual growth, and it could be business related, it could be work related, it could be what do I need to do. This fellow here in this card bought basically the seed, and he's trying to nurture this seed to a tree. Well, right now this is not a tree. So what would you do in this situation? Like, you're there and you're wondering, well, what the heck? This is a shrub at best, but it does have like some kind of like fruits. But at this stage, he's saying, you know what? I'm going to plant this last seed. I'm going to see if this is going to go further. So there is a dedication to kind of like move forward, maybe drop things that are not necessarily wanted or needed. Kind of like when I do my exercise, I have that elliptical thing, and my brother is a fitness trainer. To me, he's a bodybuilder, but for me, he's a fitness trainer, and he ordered me 15 minutes of elliptical. Believe it or not, I just cannot do it. It's like so boring, and so you have to find something that you actually really like. So let's go. Air. This one wants to talk. Oh my gosh. Air is all into, this is interesting. Air is balancing with earth. We are having this earthy cards. This is kind of very interesting because this is one of the 2 cards that has scales. In this case, it's a merchant scale. The other card is judicial scales, or scales of universal justice. So, oh, you know what? I have to share this on Facebook. Thanks, Letty, for reminding me. I have this Facebook. Let's share this. And let's invite other people to come in, just in the case that they've forgotten. I always forget this. So there we go. Good for me for trying. Oh, Dean, it's awful. I kind of like really I have these tapes from, what's her name, Tracy Anderson, which actually is about, I don't know, 10 to 20 times harder than elliptical. I have no problems doing that because it's hard. It is kind of engaging, but the elliptical is just like doing the same thing over and over for like 15-20 minutes. No way. All right, guys, this card is talking about giving and sharing in general, but also talking about that somebody here thinks that they have made a right decision about something. Maybe you feel that somebody rendered their decision on you and you didn't like what you got. Maybe you feel that there is like not enough two-way kind of street in what you're doing. This kind of like is generally telling us that we have to assess both parts in every part of our life. And if this kind of like talks about relationship, then stability of relationship really depends on your ability to really kind of like measure how much you give. Sometimes I find when I see that in people, that people give too much or they're taken too much. So both of them are really important about boundaries, right? So yes, it could mean third party, but I would need to have more cards to basically see that. So somebody, yes, in that situation, it would mean, like there are two people that somebody wants to share time, I mean resources or time as well with, and you know, maybe like that person thinks everything is okay, but maybe the others are thinking that this is like inadequate, etc. I look at this Northern Queen of Swords. Hey, nice to meet you. So let me just see what else do I get here for the air. And wow, talking about air is not going to be in their own element this week. And actually this is really, really good, right? We had this new moon in Taurus, and I think this is just like simply going because I think it's going to be full moon in Sagittarius right now. So what do we have here? 7, 9. So we have nines. Like air is coming to the end of one cycle. So this again is a kind of like wonderful card. It kind of like talks about people coming together and people working together. So like when in a relationship 1 + 1 becomes 3. Also this card is very important. You see in tarot, the higher you go, the more mission, the more you need to conquer. Sort of like in a grade 1, you're not going to have the same intensity as in grade 11. This is the exception in tarot, where, you know, here it's kind of like a really, really high dedication, because like in this stage you're saying, you know what, I'm going to be the best I can be. So whatever that is, a mother, a worker, an employee. So it looks to me, guys, that maybe the week is going to be really, let me figure out my career, let me figure out money, let me figure out my budget, let me just see if with what I have I can organize it better. We are actually really turning inward, and I think we have been doing this for quite a while because it is 9, and now probably is going to be next to how to apply it and how to go from there. So let's go in the individual things. Individual would be happy birthday to Gemini. Let's start with them first. Gemini. Oh my gosh, Gemini. What are you obsessing about? Gemini is having issues with releasing. Check it out. It is a 9. So good news, it's not going to last. It's going to be done over quickly, especially swords don't last very much. So it's going to be temporary dip in fortunes, right? It's sort of like, this is my cat when I turn on my vacuum cleaner. It's like, oh my God. That's kind of a thing. But it definitely, it's that wash machine brain kind of like keep spinning in the same circles. And as a therapist, it sounds easy. You just have to stop thinking about it, but it's not as easy when you're going through that. So it is really good to go through the situation and to do it, because everything looks dark, everything looks lost, right? But she does actually have like these 2 angels that are reminding her that she just kind of has to open up and kind of like see the rest. So what I actually advise in this situation is to get out, literally get out, even walk around the people. And if for some reason you're sensitive to people, just surround yourself with nature, because the grounding effect is really, 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 really important. Cat and vacuum cleaners. Yes, Lati. Oh my gosh, that was like funny post. And Lati sent me something about the kitty cat on Roomba, and she was dressed in a shark shirt. That was hilarious. And she kind of enthused me to order a few outfits for my fellows here, so you're going to probably see them all dressed up. Hi, Black Cat. It's too bad that I cannot get any of them to ride my Roomba. It's kind of, they would actually instead puke and express their opinion about that cleaner. So there you go. Don't think about pink elephants. Yes, exactly. Don't think about pink elephants. This is like that NLP system that tells you, look, you cannot think about negative thinking. You always have to position that positively. So that's why in tarot, and if you're ordering reading from me or from anybody else, it is kind of like really important to have that positive statement. Yes, okay, so, oh, is he the right for me? Or what is the best relationship with me, and which parts of him would work out, etc., etc. Who's next? Libra. Are you or the pink elephant? Well, that's cute. Libra. Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. Oh my gosh, Libra. You're having 9 of Wands. If you guys are not having, if you're single or if you're open, somebody might be starting to chase you. 9 of Wands is like that fiery person, energetic, somebody who can call you up out of the blue. And it's kind of like really interesting energy that is coming here for Libra. I don't know why I'm seeing like this huge intensity. And it's kind of like right underneath the Libra, which also can indicate the Libra card is Justice, which also has the Merchant scale. And this also can indicate guys could be friends with benefits kind of a thing. And in any case, this is somebody really fun to be around. This is somebody who will make you feel really good. And it's one of those nights together that you kind of don't regret. You're not obsessing over it. And it's kind of like all good. It looks like it's an exercise, if nothing else. So let me see. The Gemini is moving back to Texas after 17 years in Colorado. Lovely Canadian Aries. Oh, and that's Aquarius. Ugh. And Aquarius is having another pentacle, being left in the cold and being segregated or not having enough, feeling, well, poverty, feeling, you know, who is there for me? Not feeling mainstream. It's kind of like really, really interesting, the messaging I'm getting here. For Libra, no problem, but I'm going to kind of like go further for Gemini and for Aquarius. So let me just check. So there you go. Gemini, you are like moving full circle. So yeah, remember how I said it is 9, call it, okay, I have to go through it, this too shall pass, but we are moving in a new direction. Look at this, it's appearing out of nowhere, it's beaming. So this means that you have to figure out 2 things. 1, what inside of you can change. 2, what on the outside of you can change, because this is a card of victory. You're going to probably be victorious mostly over yourself, and this is kind of like a really, really good development. So this is kind of stage forward. So the week is going to end up okay. As I said, swords kind of like move really quickly. They're kind of harsh, but we learn a lot under influence of swords. So let me just see this 5 of Pentacles for Aquarius. 5 of Pentacles. And it's also good. Look at this. Aquarius is also coming back to normal. It could be some Aquarians that are mixing up with Gemini. This is lovely. You see, this is kind of beauty of tarot. Pretty bad, huh? You don't want to be in the situation. And then somebody says, make your 3 wishes. What do you want? Right? So, wish number 1, you do whatever you want. So, kind of this reminds me of this joke, and I'm horrible at telling jokes, about a couple that is golfing, and they're like not really rich couple, and they're golfing in a really area that is very wealthy. So the husband is telling wife, look, you just have to be very careful because we just cannot afford it, like if we break anything here. So first swing, and she hits the golf ball, and you hear. So they're like following the noise, and they actually she broke the front door, the front glass door, and she's like looking in there, and inside is like this gorgeous looking guy, and kind of like dusting himself off, and they're seeing the vase down there, and he's like, oh my gosh, that was like a very, very old vase. And she goes, oh my gosh, I don't know, like, I mean, please forgive us, etc. He said, no worries, I'm a genie, and I have been in this vase for like centuries. I'm so grateful for being released. So, and he says, but I really hope that because I have only 3 wishes, that we can share them. Husband can have 1, wife can have 1, and I can keep 1 for myself. So, okay. So, husband, of course, wants money, tons of money. Consider it done. Done. Husband checks his smartphone, his banking. All of a sudden, there are millions on every account. The wife goes, you know, I really like travel, and I also like designer's clothing. So I want to have everything that always fits me perfectly. Done. And like, you know, all of a sudden, kind of like she's getting these notifications, well, this house here is maintained, etc., etc. So now they're looking at him, and he's saying, okay, you know, I kind of have a really weird wish, and you can kind of reject it because it's very inappropriate. But I have been in this vase for 3 centuries, and your wife is so good looking. Would it be okay that we kind of like have sex, but you can reject if you don't feel comfortable? So the couple thinks, oh, we got everything, so that's just fine, just like in that movie, Indecent Proposal. So 2 of them go, and they have sex, and again and again and again. And finally, I guess he is exhausted, and he's relaxing, and he just like turns to her, and he goes, how old is your husband? She goes, 35. Why? He goes, and he still believes in genies? I told you, I'm not really a good one, but this is kind of a genie, so be very careful and how this kind of like works, because it's telling me that either you're going to meet somebody who's going to be too good to be true, or we are going to get that Energizer bunny inside of us, and we'll be able to kind of like do whatever we want. So that would be air. Now, sip of coffee. Some frisky genie, I know. I have a different genie jokes, but I cannot tell them publicly. Hello, LA. Look at this, true aqua sun. So, the lesson is how to be a better person. Yes. Look at this, like, my crowd. So, let's separate this. Who is next? Who is next? Who is next? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm in Canada. I'm in Toronto. We were supposed to have rain, but like, I mean, I'm looking through the window. It is like nice and sunny. So as soon as I finish your reading, I'm going to step out before the train starts. Hopefully, it's maybe going to even pass us. Fire, water, earth. No. Scorpio. Now I have everything. I know these are Jenny jokes. Okay, you too. Okay, fire. Okay, starting now. Which sign, which element do we go for? And I'm going to count literally which one has the most. So guys, just start participating. I don't drink Timmy's. Let's see. Fire, fire, fire. Fire wins. You see? Now, guys, for those of you here that are in the school, hi, Bridget. For those of you in the school, did you see how fire quickly got there? Because air would be faster usually, but air was just done, so they didn't bother. So there you go. So fire. Let's see. Fire. 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 I don't like Timmy's. I used to, but I changed because my doctor told me that my blood pressure is too high, and so I had to actually switch to decaf. So, and I like the coffee. Friend of mine, I don't know if I told you, she bought herself a condo in Costa Rica, lucky her, and so she's continuously bringing me this coffee from Costa Rica, which was like so good, like the best coffee I ever tried. So ever since, I'm looking for something kind of like deeper, so the Timmies don't do for me anything. So there we go. Fire, fire for this week, the end of the month. Fire. And this one, interestingly enough, look at some Leos over here, and we have 10 of Swords. So the Strength card is kind of like really interesting. First of all, yes, it does represent Leos, but the Strength card is like really talking about, like somebody mentioned, how do we become a better person? You know, I kind of like really caught myself doing something really bad last week. I had a telemarketer who just like didn't want to take, not interested, and just continue pushing. So I became very, I guess, abrupt, rude, and I completely forgot that he's a human. I kind of like went into my, air mode and like, leave me alone. Like, I mean, come on. And it was really my time. Like I was like in a park. So I can justify it if I want to, and the whole point is like not to justify it. The whole point is like to understand, oh boy, he's just a human being and he's just doing his job. He has to do that. Thank you very much, Dean. And I kind of like don't really have the right to do that. So this is kind of like what describes that you kind of like go inside and you kind of catch yourself and you say to yourself, that was not loving. That was not nice. So I just like step back, with my karmic development. And this kind of card really asks us to move forward, right? So there you go, summertime, Leo. This tells me that some of you guys have been going through some difficult times. Possibly you feel blindsided. Maybe somebody backstabbed you. Maybe the situation called for, something just to stop. In a sense, this is a good card. Even though it's telling me that there is kind of suffering in here, it's not as bad card as what Air had, 9 of Swords, because this one means the new cycle is starting, the day is coming, and things will actually start being better from this point on. So the worst is over, kind of a thing, right? This actually also can mean there was some kind of ending with somebody. In particular, can be a fire sign, and that it just like it feels pretty bad in this particular situation. Hi guys, please like and share, because if I get 500 in the combination, I'm going to give you all free annual taroscopes. So there is some incentive. So look at this. Fire is deciding also, it's kind of interesting, the earth component. And you guys have like more balance in here because you have the fire, you have air, and you have earth. Kind of like you're going to really enjoy this week. You're going to feel like, oh my God, like, I mean, this is like that story about go for a walk, look around you. And please leave the phone at home or turn it off if you really have to have it with you, but I think you can survive. This is basically saying when you're in the nature, pay attention to crickets, pay attention to everything that goes around, because like these noises are healing and we kind of like tune them out. So this is kind of like that recognition, hey, you know what, I'm alive, I'm I'm actually living today. I'm enjoying myself today. This is actually a really good card. Again, 9 and 10, 8, 9, and 10. Also is the end of the phase, and I think it's probably just like the full moon kind of a thing. What happens before and what happens after. There is like this sense of self-respect. There is really, I like this card, especially the single people here who are liking to, who want to go in a relationship. So you need to get to the stage to understand, hey, I am this. Maybe I'm not perfect, but I know what I can bring to the relationship. So when you have like this kind of grounded sense, then the relationships do happen. So whether you're single or you're struggling in a relationship, this is very promising, especially for those of you who probably kind of like suffered. Northern Queen of Swords. that's funny. Okay, so let me see one more card for this. And actually, well, you were close, Queen of Swords. It is 8 of Cups. Again, we are getting here Queen of Pentacles, and we are getting 8 of Cups. I was hoping that major arcana would come, but like Queen of Pentacles is definitely, again, very kind of grounding energy. She generally represents Capricorn, but you, fire, are going to kind of come down to earth. Maybe you're going to realize that you have been in some situations, look at these 8 are showing up here, that maybe ask you to understand what is that you need, and if you don't have that already, then go and look for it. It's kind of like going to be very, very important in the situation. So let me see what is adds to it. So it would be 8 and 8, 16, 26. So and the whole thing adds to 8, interestingly enough. So the whole thing is going to be, well, that's a major, I guess, influenced by the Strength card. So you guys, fire, will really see how your actions are affecting the other people, and you are kind of like going to get to the next level, possibly of spirituality, but also into what do you need, and that's kind of like also very important. So Aries, any Aries over here, ooh, the Lovers. Well, there I go. There is some kind of commitment, and the Strength also can talk about commitment. So Aries is going to be kind of lovey-dovey, and Aries is going to talk about the solutions. This is kind of like also Gemini card, so it can actually connect to any kind of Geminis out there, but it also has this energy of growth. The story behind this card is like the Fool, right? I mean, of course, it's Adam and Eve biblically, but in tarot, Adam is the Fool, and the Fool basically comes and meets this gorgeous woman, and he obviously just likes where he is, but there is like this mountain over here. Mountain represents challenges and new things to learn. So there's like decision. What do? Do I stay here? But the angel is saying, look, you're only stage 6. You have so much more to learn. You have to keep going, right? So some of you will kind of like figure out, if you're in a relationship that is not that great, that maybe it is a time to look for something better. And the others might figure out, I want to stay here because I have already been out there and now I'm coming back. So in any case, Aries is going to be in a driver's seat. I think Aries didn't have it good for a while. So this is really, really nice and promising. It's a major arcana. So you're going to get massive kind of grounding and understanding what you want, right? It's also the card that belongs to air. So it is kind of like your sister energy. So maybe it could tell me that some of you Arieses came from a difficult situation. And it's basically calling for you, do you want to stick around because it has been difficult? It's kind of like the rough patch in a relationship, or you want to move forward. For the singles, this would mean you will meet somebody who actually wants to commit and kind of like wants to kind of like figure things out. So let's see, Leo, it's jumping out. Whoa, the Wheel of Fortune. There is the karmic thing, and it's also 10 under 10. So the wheel is like switching. So there is like, Leo, here you are. right in the card. You're getting another card that is you. It's the book. It's knowledge that you need to acquire. It is the understanding. This card also connects to Sagittarians as well, clearly. But also this card connects to Taurus, to Scorpio, but not to any Scorpio, into Aquarius. Because you see, in this card it shows this Phoenix, because Scorpio has few levels. I think the bottom one is Scorpion, and then it also can be fish, believe it or not. And then it goes to eagle, and then it goes to phoenix. And that phoenix is that card, kind of like regeneration. For Leo, guys, things are turning in your favor. It's play lottery. You're going to be kind of very lucky. Or if you thought that something cannot be turned around, it will be able to be turned around, like literally, you know, it's going to be really, really good and lucky week. Look at the fire having all these majors, and I was like complaining that I don't have enough majors. Thank you, Lati. Thank you, Lati. Oh my gosh. So here I have 2. Oh my gosh, we have 2 threes. What am I talking about? This is also lovey-dovey energy, because that's 6. So I don't know if Sagittarians are dealing anything with, mind you, like I see Sagittarians all over the place over here, because that understanding how you affect other people, the 2 signs that are having difficulty with that lesson are Sagittarians and Aquarians. Kind of like just blur things out. I really believe in that. It kind of like really should be that way. But then, you know, things kind of like flop. This kind of like talks again, if you guys are looking for a job, it's going to be really, really good. This kind of like talks about something on the horizon, something new arriving. Maybe you're assessing who is a friend, who is a foe, who do you want to keep? Because to me, this is my ultimate card of friendships, relationships, and partnerships. And you guys are probably having an awesome week that can actually also mean raise, and then hence enjoying yourself highly. Especially if you're a woman, you're going to probably treat yourself with some kind of like really nice stuff. Mind you, for some reason, this kind of like came to me that this could mean that leaving, emptying the closet from stuff that you don't wear, that doesn't look good on you. It doesn't matter how much it costs. It was just like, off you go. I'm making room for something else, almost as if you're making some kind of like decision saying, you know, I'm going to kind of like deal with this. And from now on, there is like a new day kind of a thing, because there is a switch for you guys as well. Yes, Tony, Aquarian have been pulled, but I don't know, does it still work? If you go down, it's going to be a red line on the bottom. You can literally click back and then return back when you see Aquarius. So thank you, Lottie. And in the description, you guys, you can kind of like check both my websites if you want to order a reading. Oh, I forgot to mention about after fire and air, guys, that we need dislikes if you want me to kind of like release this. Okay, so now we are starting with who is the next. Let's see which element we have. Earth, and we have water. So since we were going down that path, we went with the highest energy. Let's go to the earth next. Well, there you go. You see, earth is talking. So school people, can you see how the energies really work? So you can really see it in action. Really lovely. And these 2 cards really want to come out. What the heck is going on here? What's going on here? 5 of cups and 5 of pentacles and 10 of cups. So again, maybe earth is having to do something with Aquarians and kind of like feeling devastated because Aquarians got this. But maybe you're also kind of configuring your finances. Maybe you're figuring out in which direction to go. Maybe you feel like you are like breadwinner and sole carrier of obligations. Maybe things are getting too hard. Maybe you're feeling you're not being understood. And you really look at the basically 2 sides of the story. Maybe it could be 2 types of earth people here. but maybe it could be that simply certain things will get resolved. Maybe they're finally going to find their home, their family, where they're really happy, find that place in the sun, that kind of like rainbow and happiness after maybe burdens. So let's kind of continue with this. Earth. You know what, Earth? I'll be really honest with you. I will tell you what I see. I see that some of you have been feeling sorry for yourself. And like maybe some of you are dealing with a leftover either of a relationship or of some kind of rejection. And maybe something, maybe some of you are like really, as I said, feeling walled in with how, you know, you want to continue forward, feeling sort of like in the dark and not knowing the direction. But you do have this kind of like heart. It's going to be your heart chakra that is really going to start to activate, and your kind of like North Star is going to be, okay, you know what makes me feel good, and who are the people that have been always there for me. You know how Oprah says, it's easy to find people who will drive with you in a limo, but how many of you will take a bus with you? And I think it's like simply, and that's going to be your full moon moment. You're going to be releasing crap from your life, and in big times. So that's going to be here, unfiltered approach. If you need to cut somebody off, you will. If you need to be alone, so be it. Because you kind of like, again, you're getting in the center. This is amazing card for it. But look at it here. We again have 10s and 9s. So it is again the shift happening. But there is like also a story about a love here. It's a story about choices. But in your case, I really feel these choices are inside of you. What will you choose? Why are these people choosing not to go to the church? Church, the whole purpose of any church, mosque, whatever you call it, is to give shelter, to give you hope, to kind of like install maybe like, you know, old televisions, and I'm that old when I remember the repairman will actually come. We now buy just a new television, but before they will come like, you know, this like enormous huge television like my parents had, and the repairman will come and pull the whole element out and just like put a new one in there, right? So maybe like literally you need a block of you repaired. Maybe you need your chakras repaired. Maybe, you know, you need just somebody else to tell you, look, it's going to be okay. You're going to be fine, and you're going to really handle this. You're going to handle this like adults. I really commend you for this one. So again, guys, please like. If you're listening to this when there is no live, please like, because if I get 500 likes or shares for this week, I'm going to release my annual Taroscope. So please help me, help you, help everybody else. So let me just like see if we can kind of like create a little bit of Aquarian kind of like well-being. So let me see. Cat, my son is a Capricorn. You're so right. Going back to his old relationship, that was a horror. Not listen, but there is still hope if he wakes up. She's cusp Virgo, Libra. Well, let's check this out now. Who is the first one? The first one is Taurus. Taurus, happy belated birthday. If it was just like last few days, Taurus. Oh my gosh. And Taurus card came out. Look at this. We have the Lovers. That's kind of like weird that your question is. He might even propose her. Like not, sorry, not wanting to scare you. But it's kind of weird. Maybe it's going to, you know how I told you in whatever the reading was, that the Lovers card is ultimately about choice. And when I make my deck, I'm going to call it choice, because when I read for people, they see Lovers, they're all happy, and then I tell them what it means, and they're like, come on. But look at this. So there is a choice that I really want to go back to kind of like make it solid. I kind of like, somebody's going to consider choices, but there is like a Page of Pentacles reversed. they're going to feel that somebody's immature to go in that direction. It's going to be interesting, because going back to what I see over here, because look at that, Taurus is having something really, really solid over here. They're going to measure this up if something is really the best for them, if they actually really want to continue there, or maybe they want to mature, or somebody needs to mature in this relationship. In any case, it's going to be a big decision time, and it usually happens each time when you have the cycle, when your sign finishes, you kind of like are going to the good times, and almost like party's over, now have to clean the dishes, and all of a sudden you're realizing, I maybe need to make one of those big decisions over here. So Taurus, it's going to be really interesting to see your comments. So the next one is Virgo. Virgo, the messages for Virgo for this week. Ouch. Oh, you know, like it's so painful to even see this card. Rejection is God's protection. So Virgo is going to learn that either something is not good for them, or they're going to be but not in a way they want to learn, because this card represents pain. This card, and I'm going to clarify it in the end. So Virgos, this doesn't have to be all of you. Get a reading with me, book a reading. You have specials, check it on my site. But this kind of like feels like being on the bottom. It's not Five of Cups though. This is like Three of Swords. Two of those cards being kind of really devastating, but this is actually worse than Five of Cups, because Five of Cups is sadness, but this is like feeling that we didn't have influence, that somebody like really pierced your heart, you know, when you touch your chest and you go, oh, I cannot breathe, like I just cannot breathe. Sometimes like people in this situation, they just like need to talk all the time, because if they don't, they feel like they're dying inside. It's kind of like a good time for therapy, because then you have somebody, or it is also a good time for Reiki treatment. So definitely this kind of like feels over here you had high hopes for something, Virgo, and maybe somebody just cut you down. Like it's kind of like I see sharp words, sharp tongue, rejection, feeling really, really sad. But then again, grounding yourself at the very, very end. And Capricorn, you actually are going to spend time with your friends. If you're dating, you might be actually dating people who are not necessarily going to be great. It really kind of comes to me like a dating card. This should be the happiest card in the entire deck. But I have to connect this card to everything else in order to kind of like really make sense. So almost like you're saying, I kind of like dodged this one, kind of like this is coming to me. Another thing that is like coming to me is saying, you know what, like, I mean, we conquered. It's almost like, even though it's a cup card, it comes to me as work, that, you know, maybe there was a difficult and strenuous project that seemed like not to have end in sight, and it's going to be big celebration. Something finally is done. You guys are going to be in a really good state of mind, and in a really kind of like celebratory mode. It kind of like pulled through something, which is kind of like really, really important. So let's go back to Virgos. So far, Virgo, obviously, guys, I have to tell here, because I see comments here and there that say, oh, you know, this is just not me, you just like missed it completely, you don't know what you're doing. Well, how this works, well, at least how I figure this works, is that when I focus, I kind of like attract this Virgo energy. And if this message is for you, it was meant for you. If you can have two Virgos next to each other, they don't have the same life. So it's, if you see those mediums when they have the spirits, well, not every message is like for the same person. So that's all it is. Like somebody really needed to hear this. So that's why I say private reading is always the best. And you got the Fool reversed. So that Fool over here, when he kind of took his clothes down, here he's still kind of dressed up. But Fool is reversed. Something here was foolish. Something just couldn't go. Like there were choices this kind of like tells me you're like 14 and decide to stay pregnant. This tells me, you know, you're starting to get involved with somebody who actually has somebody else. This tells me you knew it, but you really wanted to believe them, or you wanted to believe that somehow everything will work out, or you didn't even think. And you know how things start? They start gradually. You first gain 1 pound, and then you 5, and you're still not worried, and all of a sudden there's 20. It's like, oh my god, like I have to use my elliptical, right? So this is telling me that there were choices that were really not good, and honestly I do feel there was a third party over here, and this is why it feels really hard over here, that somebody's celebrating with your own family and you're being left alone here. So Virgo, the advice would be you need to speak your truth. If you don't speak with this person anymore, then speak it to yourself. Full moon is a great time to kind of write it down and burn it and release it under the moonlight. And that's kind of like the times that things actually really work really well. Sorry, Virgos. And again, guys, let me remind you, please thumbs up and share so I can actually release all the annuals. I would love to do that by the 1st of June. So I'm aiming for 500. So let's see if we can do it, right? So I'm putting them always back. I'm a little bit obsessive compulsive, and my way of shuffling is like that. Whenever I put cards back, they always put them upright. It's like one of my tricks. And then they get reversed when they come out. Today it was lots of upright cards. Did you notice this? It's going to be a very positive week. My turquoise, it's not meant to be. Universe keeps it out of life. That's what basically 3 of Swords means. That's why they call it rejection is God's protection. Like, don't go there. This was not the path. This is that end kind of a thing. Even though, of course, we want what we want. Okay. Water. This could be Virgo doing this to someone. Absolutely. Yes. Let me clarify that. And I should use more someone. People were like freaking out when I was using it someone. But someone is more appropriate because that's someone who is linking to Virgo's energy. So it always goes both ways. You either are on the receiving end or you are giving that energy away. Virgo versus Leo in my chart. Well, you know, I'm also on the cusp. Well, I'm technically Aquarius, but I'm very close. It's called cusp of sensitivity because it's February 15th. So it's cusp between Aquarius and Pisces. So how do you think this is? I go from being like, crying on a sad movie to what the heck, I don't care. It's really, really difficult, not only just for me, but for everybody else around me. So, trust me, that's kind of like fun. So, there you go. So, because the air and water are 2 almost like opposite elements, so like continuously, oh my god. And plus I have the moon in Leo, and it's kind of like really weird. So, that's good. People can't figure you out entirely. So, water. Let's see what messages we have for water. Let me have a sip of this coffee. And I don't care if you hear me. So I'm going to do this time around. And guys, water, please thumbs up. I want 500 likes and shares. With shares, you're going to get much more because then other people share as well. And there you go. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm going to actually leave a music in the very end. So if you guys still want to chat, feel free to do it. It's kind of like always good to discuss. And if you haven't joined my Instagram, which I'm trying to develop, or my Facebook, please come there. I've seen Dean over there. I've seen some of you over there. I don't know if you have the same nicknames. So, what is this? Why is like... So the air had earth strongly in the reading. And look at this. The water has a strong air. Completely fish out the water. Okay, water. Give me like messages for water for this week. Messages for water. Woo, Hierophant. Oh my god, water. I should just skip. Like, pretty much weird. Queen of Swords, Ten of Swords, the Hierophant, Five of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. What am I missing? I'm missing Five of Cups, I'm missing Three of Swords, and I'm missing the Death card for this to make it pretty gloomy reading. But this can be actually seen differently. Actually, I've seen it as I finished this. So, 28. It's 1. Right? Because look at this. We have a 10, and then we have a 5. That's 20. 28. And 2 and 8 is 10, which is, again, the new beginning. Because as I was laying this down, I realized that this is the leading card. Queen of Swords could be that somebody's air sign that you're associating with. So, Queen of Swords, and we have a Queen of Swords over here, Northern Queen of Swords. It's actually not heartbreaking at all. I really think that what it tells me, that some of water people been through really difficult times and been through periods where nobody understood them, where they felt they have been tapping in the dark and feeling shunned, like no matter what they did, like people turned against them. And since water is so sensitive, especially it kind of like that flow, right, Dean, with emotions, like you always want to feel like a warm hug, and when you don't get it, it's almost like not getting the food. And when situations like that happen, you really start to question yourself and saying, well, I must be the bad one. You develop that guilt, you develop that sense of injustice. It could be that something was not even recent, that something happened that maybe was due to the breakup, or maybe was due to maybe somebody wanting to get married and the other person just like left them, because sometimes that's kind of situation, and kind of like being left out, really defensive, maybe feeling fear, maybe feeling isolation. So then the Queen of Swords shows up and she says, you know what? We are cutting this all off. It's like letting water run through dirt. Eventually, it's going to clear, right? And this is purifying week. Like when I was like initially seeing this, oh my God, I should just like pretend that, you know, my connection is off and not to finish this. But then I realized, no, actually, this is really good. You people are coming to your senses. You're realizing, wait a minute, this hasn't been me. So this is, I have to tell you, in therapy, you have adults who are really suffering, and they have been conditioned to many things. Also, religion comes here really, really strongly. Maybe you're going to feel that certain things are not working for you anymore, and hence you want a religion that is not organized, but sort of like more personal. And to me, that's spirituality. Spirituality is like what comes inside. For religion, I don't care much. Religion is like what other people tell you have to follow, and I couldn't care less about that. And it looks like you're coming to your own sense of who you are. And it could have been also water, that you have been going through periods where you thought you would not make it, where, you know, issues were with money, issues with how do you maybe catch up with child payments. And right now, honestly, you're cleaning this like it's a new beginning. Like, so who was that? Air had 9, like you guys have 1. So this is like inception. So that this week is going to be new ideas, minimizing. And literally, I tell this to my clients, when you really want a new start, 2 things you have to do. It must do. Clean your closets, clean your fridge. You will be surprised how quickly your mind starts to work properly. So, I think it's really good. I think you're cleaning the garbage. Take the garbage out, kind of a thing. So, who is the first? Which one is the first? Cancer. So, Dean is Cancer. Who else is Cancer over here? Cancer. Wow. There is like new beginning. There is like lovely beginning. Like the Fool upright. It's like a good thing. see how I said like certain things for you guys are no go anymore. This little doggy, which we all like doggies, right? Even though this is cat tarot, this little doggy represents society, and the society pulls us back, which sometimes is good because that's what the Hierophant is saying. Let's not murder, kill, blah blah blah, right? But like, I mean, this is saying, look, I actually have to try new things for myself. And Fool is like that utter optimism, taking like very small baggage. So like getting rid of baggage. Cancer, that's what you are doing, and you're starting fresh. Look at that like radiance over here and looking up finally, because look at it, it's like from the bottom to the top, and feeling trust and feeling belief. So you guys, Cancers, I can tell you will be cleaning your fridges. So I have to say, guys, thumbs up or thumbs down or share. I really want to get to 500 so I can give you this annual taroscopes. I'm actually eager to give it to you, but you have to do some work yourself. So the next one would be Scorpio. Scorpio. Wow. Scorpio. Finally, the new dawn has come. And look at this, was 1 and you are moving in the next stage. Cancers, because you're going from 1 to 0, you know how the Cancer walks and it just like pulls back. You are going to kind of like have that motion this week, but not Scorpio. Scorpio, maybe something has happened in the past that has cost you big times, that you are still thinking about, or that is still affecting you. I think it's also financially affecting you. It could have been divorce for you, Scorpio, or some really bad breakup where you kind of like felt, oh my gosh, what do I do? You guys either are going to meet somebody or your relationship is going to go to the next stage. 2 of Cups is the Lover's card. 2 of Cups is I love you card. We see things eye to eye. See how he is pushing his hand toward her, saying, yeah, I actually do get you, I do understand you, I do love you, and let's kind of like be together. I think if you guys are in a relationship, this is going to the higher level of commitment, where you're going to realize that, yeah, if I want to create problems, I can find 1,000,001 thing. But you know, in relationships and counseling, like usually couples start finding faults with each other, and the very same things that they like that was quirky in the beginning, now they hate. So need to find back the path to what kind of like you still like and share. And you guys are really there. You guys are there, like you're feeling that full emotion here. It might be some proposals here as well, Scorpios. That will be really, really interesting. So there you go. So who is next? Pisces. Let's see with Pisces. Oh my gosh, I just remembered. I dreamt Pisces. Jesus. I dreamt that. That's kind of totally bizarre. It was like some kind of like either a prison or some school. I don't know. With a whole bunch of just Pisces in a schoolyard. But it felt like prison because they were kind of trapped there. And they were like angry and lashing out. And I was like, Pisces? What the heck? Pisces? That's Pisces? It's kind of like really weird. So, Pisces. Guys, thumbs up. Please share to get to 500. So I can release the what am I talking about? Annual taroscopes. And we are getting the cards here. So, Pisces, very much like this. You might have, Pisces, issues with your children. You might have, you know, that you are taking into account different elements in your life. So the clarity, reaching this new stage is not that easy because now we have a Queen of Swords and Page of Swords. But it also could mean that you are realizing you're dealing with somebody infantile, somebody who is just like blabbing their mouth, not really kind of like pulling things together. And maybe you're going to realize, listen, we either have to go in a new direction, kind of like see what else we can do, kind of like this is like a dreaming card, and you guys are dreamers, right? And you're kind of like, this also could be you or be done to you, both ways. It's kind of like, okay, you know what, I am just like a bee going from one flower to another, but let's kind of like focus to what I really want. Do I want really to be with somebody? Do I really want to focus on my career, on some kind of like power? Do I just like want some simple pleasures like buying myself jewelry, or do I need to kind of like feel healthier? Or am I going to kind of like tame myself, is it this dragon, and kind of like have this like in the fire? So I think Pisces, for you, it's going to be the understanding what works and what doesn't work, and you kind of like really need to clean internally more than anything else. So, well, that was actually really productive. I really am glad to see how many upright cards we had this time. So guys, I'm actually going to turn on the music, and I'm not chasing you out to the party. You still have the entire song, and that you can actually be here. And thank you so much. Please, guys. Oh, thank you, Northern Queen of Swords. And please, hopefully I'll see you on Instagram, on Facebook during the week. And I'm going to be preparing Is Your Ex Coming Back series. I think I confused everybody with having a whole bunch of monthlies recently, so I'm going to go back to my old styles with bi-weeklies. And all the best. I wish everybody have a great week. I might consider having a full moon reading on Tuesday evening. I might. So hopefully I'll see you there. I love you all. Thank you so much, everybody, being there with me. I really enjoyed this. All the best, and I'll talk to you soon.